design. Okay, so if you are looking for cross-platform solution, maybe you need to start by yourself. Okay, and in this class we will focus on Android platform. So I will introduce how to use the Kotlin programming language to design the Android app. Okay. Okay. You can see here, actually there are also many the cross-platform solutions. Okay. For example, maybe you are familiar with the web design, so you can use JavaScript to design cross-platform app. Also, Google proposed a new solution that's based on the Flutter platform. Okay, you need to use the Spark programming language to design the cross-platform app. Also, Microsoft proposed other platform to let you design the cross-platform app based on the C# programming language. Actually, if you want to design the gaming app, maybe you can use Unity. Unity is also written by the C#. Okay, so actually there are many cross-platform solutions. In today's lesson, I will introduce the Kotlin programming language. I will take about 2 to 3 hours to briefly introduce the overall concept about the Kotlin programming language. Okay. Also, I give a homework for the programming. Okay. So make sure you check the website. I have one homework assignment. I think the exercise is quite easy. Suppose you are familiar with one certain programming language, like C or the Java. I think that's quite easy to write the program in new programming language, just like Kotlin. Okay. 我想学新的语言，只要稍微做切换，应该都没有什么问题。Okay. So remember, because I want to use the macOS to run our developing the software. Okay, the developing software is based on the Android Studio. Okay, so maybe let's open the Android Studio. Okay, so make sure your computer run macOS. 确定你们的电脑是跑这个 Mac 的作业系统。Okay, let me briefly introduce the Mac operating system. Okay, as you can see here, the button area is called App Dock. Show a list of app icons. Here, you can see here, we have Android Studio. Okay, so we need to open it. Software. Okay. We simply click the Android Studio. You cannot locate the Android Studio. Please look for the first icon, Finder. Finder is quite similar to the file manager in Windows system. Okay. Okay, maybe you successfully launch the Android Studio. 有找到 Android Studio 吗？怎么样？
ada grafiknya dia.
In this page,
Not bad kok.
let's click the new file. Okay, let's create a new file.
Kan buat ngedit doang.
And you will see the screen just like this one. And here, let's select the entity, the activity. Let's try to do the
Kan ini empty. Nah,
entity, activity,
Oh.
this one. Okay?
banget anjir. Mending
The
dulu.
template, the form and the template. And let's select the entity activity. And then select next. Okay? Let's use the default setting. The project name is my application. The package name, let's just use the default tag. And make sure the language is complete. And then click finish.
Nih, baik nih. Downloading lagi. Banyak banget downloading. Banyak banget, sering banget aku. Makanya aku malas banget.
And just wait for a moment. The system needs to download the
Kalau masukin harus dulu edit.
start
Ada linknya kan?
files.
Tapi ada orang ya, dia nggak ngedrag. Dia mau bikin itu semua. Iya.
Okay, and actually, Android Studio can run on different platform. Okay, so maybe you don't have Mac computer and just Windows computer. That's quite fine. You can install the Android Studio on Windows computer. Android Studio 其实原本来就常用在 Windows 电脑上跑。那我用 Mac 是因为 Mac 比较 stable。Okay, let's finish.
Internetnya mulai ya? Lu mau ngapain kalau mau kita itu? Tahu, langsung ngasih.
Let's wait for a moment.
Wah. Kalau keyboard gua travel distance-nya jauh.
Actually, we can close
Kalau keyboard gua
the
travel distance-nya jauh.
right-hand side new window. That's for new information. Close the right side. Hi.
Ini kecil banget. Gede kan? Yang ini gede banget. Iya, kalau apa nih? Kalau dia pakai Android Studio gue seneng sih. Saya mau ini. Apa sih? Ini sih ya. Ada Redmi. Tahu kan? Sama Sean juga banyak kok. Aman lah. Masih penting. Aku sekarang ambil 41 departemen admin. Iya, conggon pula. Mampus gue bilang. Oh, extend dong.
So you can see here, for each new project, we need to wait for quite a moment. Because the system needs to download the file. So you can see here, that's your However, as you can see here, that's the major program code for this simple app. Okay? And this app designed using the calendar program. So you can see here, calling program is just like the C++. That's object-oriented programming language. So we have classified, okay, the inheritance and next the function the code. So here is the major entry point for this app. Okay, so this app will start from the here, okay, and run the program code. Next week we will talk more about the app structure. The left-hand side is the project folder. They will contain several directories, include the major program code and the resources file. Resources file contain any image, audio, okay, based on your app. Okay, so that's just like your project folder. Okay, here we can locate. We can go into different directory to activate your program or import some multimedia resources into your project. And in the middle side, we can design all the UI interface. Okay, that's called the layout. Or we can write our program code here. And the right-hand side here, we can configure each component. Okay, later you will see the major layout for this app. Okay, the layout will contain some component. 我来看一下这个到底效果。
Let's do 3 exercise on the one side. Ada 2 PA.
Sorry, it's still loading.
Gua ada kalkulus banyak banget. Bukan, bisa pakai kalkulus banyak banget. Gak mau apa.
Okay, capture the project loading and try to run this app. Okay. And if we want to run the app, we need to enumerate a mobile phone and just pretend we are running the app on the real device. Okay, so that's called an emulator. Emulator or just something like that. We simulate mobile phone device run the app.
Nggak kuat sih grafik.
你再下载完。
Betul, udah aja. Lu bisa buka YouTube tuh. Itu kayak HP biasa. Belum. Lu buat juga apps. Terus nanti bakal muncul satu apps di sini. Apps lu gitu. Cuma satu doang. Enggak nih, maksudnya apps lu yang sebelumnya juga yang udah lu buat ada di HP ini.
Maybe in this moment, let's try to look at the left-hand side window. Okay, you can see here that's the project folder. So let me select the project folder. Okay, so make sure you can try to use the scroll down the list and select the project. And as you can see here, let's try to click my application app. SRC source and main and Java. Okay. Here, that's all the project director.
Lucu tuh kan.
And the main activity
Ini nggak lama banget, bahkan ini
just
nggak lama banget.
this file. Okay. Main activity, the file extension name is KT, mean copy. Okay. So here on the main program.
Harusnya SMS-nya muncul di sini.
In my today lesson, we will practice how to write the calling program code. So here, we need to create a new file. 这个我们要建一个新的 file. So let's select my application. Select my application and right click. Your mouse to the right, select right corner, right click. Just like this. Right click. If that's not function, you can use your keyboard. Press the control and the click. Okay. If the right click is from the function, try to hold the control on the keyboard, control the key, and use the mouse click my application.
Jadi sini tuh.
And you will see a pop-up menu. So let's select the new.
Dia udah muncul, kita belum. Oh, ya. Dia ini pindah apa namanya berkhianat. Lucu juga ya. Oh jadi dia numpang di lab kita buat doang. Berantem kali ini. Lu nggak dapat kursi ya? Oh, gue jadi jalan-jalan. Oh, kursi itu di ini lah. Ini kan nggak tahu.
Sorry, the system loading is very small. So I will successfully go on the next step. 我现在没办法直接这样测。I think that's fine. After the loading, I will show you how to write the program code in the Android Studio. So maybe this time let's open the browser to write the program code. 我们用另外一个 solution.
Gimana cara buat new file?
Let's try to use another solution. Let's go back to the desktop of the computer, okay? And this time let's try to open the Safari, the browser, on the main computer, okay? Let's select the Safari browser.
Gak jelas Mac ini. Gak jelas ini. Oppo ini. Ini loh default teman.
Type the keyword copy background.
Iya, canda gue. Oh, anjir.
Let's try to use the copy background and enter. Next, select this link. Copy background actually on the share link code online. This one.
Ribet mekanya.
And then you will see the programming environment just on the browser. Okay. So here we can test our common program code. Okay, as you can see here, a calling program contains the main function, just like the C program. Okay, and then here we have one line statement, print, new line, and hello world. Let's try to click the block, and then you will see the execution result. Okay? So the program code and the execution result. Okay? So maybe let's use this environment to show how to write the calling program code. 好，我们暂时先用这个浏览器来练习程序。好，等一下等那个 Angel Studio 下载完，再跳回去。
Saya.
If you want to have the same slide as me, you can download the PowerPoint file from the e-learning website. 如果你要这一份投影片，你可以到医学院网页去下载。Okay, so you can see here the copying code platform compiler and the general purpose programming language. Okay, and in 2019, Google announced that the formal programming language to develop Android app need to use a calling program. Before that, we used to use Java programming to write the app. So from the 2016, the first version was released, and in this year, the version becomes 1.7. So actually, that's quite a new programming language. And if you want to learn the calling program, you can go to the official website, just like this URL here. Just like this slide, if you have Windows computer or any platform computer, just like Mac, or even you have the iPad, I think you can open the web browser just like this one. Okay, the online calling background, and here we can write our program code and try Okay, actually there are different software that support you write the calling program. Another solution is based on the IntelliJ ID. Okay, that's another software. And this one is based on the Android Studio. Okay, because we want to design the app, so we need to use the Android Studio. And actually, I want to demo how to use the Android Studio to practice the Android program, the coding. Okay. That's fine. Maybe we will go back to show how to use the Android Studio to write that. So in the following, I will briefly introduce the overall about the coding program. Okay. You can see here, if we want to show one method, we use the print line. Okay. Just like this one. Okay. Using the coding program, we don't need to add the semicolon.
Kita belum nggak pakai ini aja, blackboard leh.
That's not necessary. And if we want to show one comment, we simply use the double slash. Okay, that's the single line. So here, we will show how to write a simple program. So for any programming language, we need to know how to declare value, and what's the supported data type, and how to write the control the flow statement, and how to write the function, define the class, something like that. 好，我想这个学任何程序员都要经过这程序。So here, in coding, if we want to declare any variable, we have two options. Either use a keyword VAL. VAL means the value, or VAR. VAR means the value. Okay. Value or the file. Okay. Value, that's the read-only value. After assigning the initial value, we cannot change the value anymore. So that's for value. And for normal variable, we need to use the keyword var, VAR. Okay? That's quite easy. So that's the statement. Declare the variable name with initial value. How about we declare variable without giving the initial value? Okay? You can see here, just like statement here. We declare one string, that's str1, that's the variable name, and the column, and then followed by data type name. Okay, string, the supported data type name. Okay, after the declaration, we assign the initial value. Okay, hello. We use a double quote, meaning that's a string value. Or we can declare the number using the val. Okay, that's read only the variable. And tell the system the data type is double. Okay? So after the declaration, you can assign the value to the number. Okay, just once. Initial one. You cannot change the value anymore because that's the val. Read only the value. Okay? So we have two ways. Either giving the initial value or we give the data type. Okay? And how to show the variable value? We can use print or the print with new line. Okay, print. Okay, LN means the new line. Okay. And if you want to combine the string message with variable value, we need to follow the string interpolation. Okay. As you can see here, for example, I want to show the current value of x is followed by the real value of the variable x. Okay. So here, we use a double quote. That's a string message. Inside the string, the next condition need to show the value of the variable x. Okay, so here we use a dollar sign followed by variable name. So at this position, suppose the x value is 10, then the value of 10 will replace the dollar sign. Okay, so that's called the string interpolation. Okay, string interpolation not only shows the value of the variable, we can also show the result of any the mathematical expression. Okay, for example, I want to show the result of x plus y. Okay, we use the form dollar sign. However, here we need to add the curly brace. Okay, curly brace x plus y. Okay, to add one expression. Okay, so single variable we can ignore the curly brace. Actually, if you add the curly brace, that's also fine. Dollar sign, curly brace, x, that's also fine. Okay, so that's for string interpolation. 好，那这个我们就简单试一下。Let's try to run a simple statement.
Tapi malah mirip C++
Okay.
Tapi
For
C
example,
C++.
S1 to be 10.
Iya sih bisa jadi juga. Oh, mirip Java ya.
And we want to print the value.
udah langsung cari aja konflik template. Enggak sih.
Okay, so you can see the simple program over here. And just print the value of S1. You can see here the result of the one. Right? So here show how to use the string interpolation. Okay. So here the dollar sign. If you want to show the equation, okay, remember to add the curly brace. Okay, for example, I want to show this one plus 10. So the value will become the 20. Okay, remember user. Okay, so value means value. Okay, so means the value.
Emang gak ada bed system gitu? Saya langsung juga sih bednya.
We have double.
Susah.
Okay, so that's for we data type name. Actually, we can combine together. For example, we can show the type name. Also, we show the initial value. That's also fine. Okay, just like so. Okay, this declaration statement is also great. We both provide initial value and also the data type name. Actually, if you skip the data type name, that's also fine because the calling compiler is quite small. The calling will actually say the 20.0. Okay, so the compiler will know S2 should be double. Okay, not integer. Okay, so let's see the supporting data type incomplete. Okay, for integer, we use the name int, so show that's the integer data type. And for floating point number, we either use the float or the double. Okay, that's same as the other programming language. And for Boolean value, true or the false, we use a Boolean, B-O-L-E-A-N, Boolean. And for character, remember, the name is CHAR, string, shown here. And the new data type for calling, that's the nullable. We will show what is nullable, okay? So that's for basic data type. And for advanced data type, calling support a pair of value or triple. And for array list, calling support a list, set, and the map. That's quite similar with Python or the Java. And function, collects, and interface. Interface just like the protocol in Java. So maybe you can read my slide and to learn the basic concept of calling program. For example, how to declare an integer, how to declare a floating point number. Okay, so just see my slide. And let's check how to convert value between the different types. Okay, let's see the example here. We want to convert an integer into double. That's quite easy. As you can see here, variable x is integer, okay, because the initial value is 3. So x is an integer data type. And the y is a double. Okay, you provide the floating point number by default, that's double data type. And here, we want to convert x to be double. That's quite easy. We need to call the method function x, just like an object, dot. That's the method function call. The method function is called toDouble. Okay, that's quite easy to understand. We just want to convert x, that's number 3, to double. So after that, the x becomes the 3.0. Okay, become the double number. can do other conversion. We want to convert double to integer. We simply call to int. Okay, so that's for type conversion. So if we want to convert integer to string, that's quite easy. We call the toString. Okay. Okay, suppose we change sy to be string. That's string. And string value 10. So here, we want to show the s1 value. Okay, because s1 is string, we want to convert string to int. Okay, call the method function. Okay, so you can see we successfully convert s1 because we make the s1 to be string the value to the conversion. Okay, so we have to int, to string, to double, and so on. Okay. And here is the boolean data type, true and the false, to the keyword, okay, using the true and the false. And for string, we use the double quote, okay. And here is how to iterate over string. Maybe we will show this statement later. That's about the control flow. And for single character, we use a single quote, not double quote. Single quote and the character data type. Just like the Java or other programming languages, we can combine two strings together. Okay, here we use a props. Okay, so string 1, string 2 are both the string data type. We want to combine the string content. We use a props operation. Also, we can add one character into another string. We can also use the props. Okay, so that's for string concatenation. Okay, in this example, we show how to display the length of the string. We also need to call the method function. Length. Another method function, sorry, that's called the property. Okay, you can see here, string 1 is a string variable. We use a dot quotation length, that's the property. Because any object having a property or the method function. Okay, so here we just show the length property. Okay, dot length. So here we will show the length of the string. In this example, I just combined English letter and the Chinese letter. Okay, and you can see here each Chinese word that's for single character, just like the English letter. Okay, so we need to count one letter, one Chinese word. Okay. And here is how to access a certain character from string. We use the array index. Okay, use a bracket. For example, I want to access the first letter or the second letter. We use a position index. Okay, the position index is from the number 0, 1, 2, and so on. And here we can compare the string value, okay, either equal or not. Here, let's introduce a new data type that's called a nullable. So let's see what is the nullable. Let's see the declaration. Number x is variable name. and we need to provide the data type name. However, you can see here, the data type name is int and the question mark. This means that's nullable integer. Okay? What is nullable? Nullable means this value can contain nothing. Nullable means can contain nothing. So how do we represent the variable containing nothing? We use a special keyword. This keyword is called null. N-U-L-L. The special keyword means nothing. Nothing. Okay? Remember, nothing is not equal to value 0 or empty string. That's the different concept. Okay? For example, here, I declare one string. Okay? That's string data type. Okay? And after the declaration, I give the initial value. For example, I say string 1 is hello. Okay? Here, we can print the string value. You can see here, the current content is hello. That's correct. Okay. How about let's declare string 1 to be nullable string. So here we need to add a question mark. That's called nullable string. Okay. And even string 1 is nullable. This means we can assign a certain value to the variable, or we can try to assign nothing to the variable. Okay. For example, I assign a certain value hello to the string 1. That's fine, just like the normal string. Okay. Let's run the program, we will show the hello message. Okay. However, we can reset string 1 to a special keyword now. Okay. Now means we want to clear the content. You can see here the value is and the now is not equal to empty. Okay. So what is empty string? Here we call empty string. Let's run the app. You will see here nothing is displayed here because that's the empty string. Okay. So empty is not equal to the now. So in what situation we will encounter the null situation? After the initialization of any the view object, the state will become the null. Okay. Maybe after you know how to design the app, for example, you will on the UI interface, you need to locate a text view or a certain label. Okay. For example, like the label or the text view. The text view is spatial view object that can display one string message. Okay. When create a text view, by default, the text view will contain nothing. So that's called the text view is in the null state. Okay. So actually, you need to remember, after you create a new view, the view will contain nothing, not contain empty or contain the zero. Okay. 好，那这个要记得一下。
Enggak juga sih stable ya. Merah doang.
Okay, so for nullable variable, we need to take care about how to access the data value. Okay. Because the value may contain nothing, so before we access the value, we need to do the checking. So how do we do the checking? That's quite easy. We use the if statement. Okay. For example, we have one variable. The variable name is called nullable str. Okay. We need to make sure this value don't contain nothing. So we provide the condition check. It's not equal to null, and then we can access the value. So let's see another option. We want to show the length of the string. So we need to call the property .length. Okay. Before we can show the length, we need to make sure this variable actually contain the string value. Okay. So here, the second method is use a question mark. Okay. Let's try to write the following code. Okay, just like this one, I want to show the length of string 1. So in normal situation, we simply call the length. Okay, so string 1 length will show the value. So we run. You can see here, because I just set string 1 to be empty string, so length becomes the 0. That's correct. So how about we take the string 1 to be null? Okay. You will see the compiler will show a 1-minute message. Okay? Because string 1 is null, null means contain nothing. Because it contains nothing, so it's impossible to show the length information. Okay? So the message is coming from for this reason. Okay? And you can see here, the compiler will show one suggestion how to fix the problem. The suggestion is based on the question mark notation. Okay? So that's called the option order checking. Okay? So for this situation, before we call the master function, we add the question mark. We add the question mark. So what's the meaning? The meaning says if string 1 contains the real value, then we will call the following the master function for the property. If the string contains nothing, we need to skip the whole execution for this segment. Okay? So that's for the purpose within the question mark. You can see here. Okay? So that's the second method. We add the question mark before we call the master function, or we want to create a function. The method 3, for this one, we want to assign the length to another variable. Okay? If the string length is null, the whole value will become the null. However, in this case, suppose the length is an integer data type. So integer cannot be null because that's integer, not nullable integer. Okay? So for this case, we need to provide the default value. Okay? So let's see how to provide the default value.
Kenapa sih kok nggak bisa? Internetnya kayaknya.
Okay? So just like this case, I want to assign.
Iya, ngebug kayaknya.
Okay, so let's see this segment. String 1, that's nullable string. So we use the question mark to safely access the property. That's okay. Okay. However, we want to assign the value to another variable, length. Length is integer, not nullable integer. So this means len can be any numerical value, and the length, the value cannot be null. Okay. However, if string 1 is null, the total will become null. Okay. null value cannot be assigned to a no more than integer value. Okay. So for this case, we need to provide a default value. If this equation contains the null, then we need to provide other default value. Okay. So for this case, for example, let's try to run this code. You will see the type mismatch problem.
Iya banget. Mana sakit pula leher gue gini.
Okay, so you can see here. Because string 1 is a null, okay, so the total is null. And here, I add a special operator. Question mark and the colon, that's called the else operator. Okay, else, that's like else. If that's done, and then we will return the later value. Okay, so as you can see here, finally, length will become -1. Okay, because string 1 is null. So that's called else. Okay, so that's the third mixer using the else. The next mixer is called the force access. We use a double exclamation mark. Okay, so for this case, we need to make sure this variable is not null because we want to force access. Okay. If this variable is not null, and here if the variable is actually the null value, and here you force to access the value, the system will just crash. Okay? So for some situation, if you make sure the value is not null, you can use a force access. Otherwise, you need to apply other solution. Either provide the if statement to do the checking, or use the question mark to safely access, or use the else operator. OK。这个是如果值可能会空的，它就会有几个 solution 让各位参考。OK， I see. Let's take a short break. OK。我们暂时休息一下。
Cepol cepet banget sih ngetiknya. Ini bukan
ini. Iya, ntar.
Oh iya kan?